Hello again, everyone. Today we are going to talk about all the water systems in the vehicle. So we have, of course, the porta potty. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Over here we have our sink. This actually comes up. You notice these are French cleat, the design, so they just kind of slide right in there and they hold. So we're going to use the support here in just a moment and put that up and show you how that works with the collapsible sinks. Under, we see two water bottles here, and we see the two collapsible sinks that we're going to pull out in just a moment and show you. And we see the hose that we use to fill up the water bottles, and the spigot is too low. We can't actually reach the spigot. We can use that hose there. But we keep all of the pumps for the front end here in this little opening and in this small clear totes. So you'll see that our tote is here. This is actually a battery powered portable pump and shower head, and this end of the portable pump and shower head just simply fits right down inside of our water tank. So we pull that out, we can unscrew the top here, and we can just drop this right down in that opening that's there in order to use. Now I always pull out, when I'm using water from the front end, I always pull out the water container just so that we're not using the water inside where there's also electrical. The water itself, we just make sure all these are closed up real tight, and we never had any splashage at all, and so nothing ever affected any of the electrical. Here's what it looks like when it's set up mostly. You can see, obviously, we've got our pump all the way down in the water container. That comes up to the battery operated pump. We press this button and hold it for about a second in order to turn the water on. And there is your shower head that we use to fill up our containers. These are your collapsible sinks, which are amazing. Let's show you what that looks like. So we'll just press that down, and I need both hands for that. So I'll show you here in a second what that looks like. And there's your sink opened up. And we have the two sinks. So the upper one is typically where we would leave the water, and the bottom one we would rinse for rinsing hair and washing up inside the vehicle. In that same container that we pulled everything out of, there is a water heater. This is a submersible water heater, so it just drops inside our container here, and then we plug that in. Now, on the generator, using the generator, again, this really pulls a lot of electric, so you don't want to use the batteries for this. But with the generator, it takes 20 to 30 minutes to heat up the water. When you're connected to shore power, it's much faster. So now let's take a quick look at the toilet and how the porta potty works well. You can see here are 4 Velcro strips that are used to hold this in place and make sure it doesn't slide back and forth or forward and backwards. The pump action on this is really simple. You pull this up and it pumps water throughout the system. You push it down, it recharges the system, and then pump up, down, etc. So that pumps the water through this bowl and cleans it out for you. Very, very, very important detail, guys. Before you use the porta potty, every time, this little lever right here, you want to release the pressure. Pressure can build up down inside the tank, and you want to pull on that pressure, and you want to release that pressure before you sit down. You can leave it open while you're using the bathroom, and then you close it after you're done, when you have finished. Now, about once every 4 days, if you're using this regularly, if 2 people are using this porta potty regularly, you're going to need to clean it out. And to do that, there's a little lever right here on the back. So, little lever on the backhand side here. We're going to pull that, and we're going to lift the top off. The top then just simply sets off to the side. And this part is all enclosed. So that same lever that you pulled in order to release the valve is going to stay closed while you're working with this. You flip this out, you turn this piece out, and you unscrew it so that you can empty this out. And you're going to dump this every 4 days. You find dump stations, real easy to find on iOverlander and some of the other apps out there. That's it for the toilet. We'll take you around the back and show you how our shower works if you use it. The water system in the back, you see, starts with that water bottle right there. This is the one that we kept full most of the time. And to be honest, we use this more than we used the other two water bottles. I typically kept this one full and put the empty ones up there. And when I refilled them, they're a little easier to access, a little quicker. So when you're quick and you just want to stop, you can refill those other two. Up here we see the pump and the shower head that we used more frequently. And again, right there, we see where we're going to plug that 12-volt pump into here in just a moment. We always kept this filter, water filter, empty, and then we would just simply fill that up and then keep a couple water bottles full with filtered water, so that we always had filtered water. Sometimes you're getting water from random places and you just want to have nice clean filtered water to drink, so we would just simply pull that out, fill all the water bottles up that we had with the pump here, the water and the pump, and then refill a bunch of these water bottles just to make sure we had lots of filtered water on hand. Let me show you how that's going to look. If I pull this out, this is where we find our pump, and we left typically the pump portion of this, we actually left in the water container most of the time, and then we just simply used this right here, which is your 12-volt connector, and we lift that part up and we actually just plug that in. You can actually hear the motor running there when I do that. So that's where that plugs in. We would just leave it unplugged but lying next to it, and anytime we would need water, this was the go-to water pump and shower head. When we were in hot areas or warm areas at the beach, long day at the beach, nice and sandy, we would actually just toss this pump right here into the water bottle, and you can see that's running out the side here. I'll show you in a minute where that goes. And same thing, you can see here a little bit more clearly this connector where that's going to plug in. In any case, let's go around this side. So this right there goes out. I actually disconnected the door here so it would open all the way. You can see I disconnected it right here. It will stay in either position. It stays here unless it's very windy, but you can open it all the way. The reason why I did that is if we come around this side, you can see you can actually suction cup your shower head right here, and you have two walls that basically give you a little more privacy. And this is where we would take our showers, right there from when we were at the beach.